The morning sun draped over the old Karsiha like a golden shawl. Zora and Demir stood at the entrance of the bazaar, where the scent of roasting coffee met the cool breeze of the mountains. The stones beneath their feet were polished smooth by centuries of footsteps, and today they were adding their own to the rhythm of the city. Their first stop was a place whispered about by the locals, the fire inn that never slept. Through the window, Zora watched the baker toss dough into the air until it was thin as a veil. This was the birthplace of the legendary borek, a pastry that held secrets in its layers. Demir took the first bite. The pastry shattered into 1,000 buttery shards, revealing a heart of savory cheese and spinach. It was hot enough to make him wince, but the flavor was a warm embrace. "You can taste the history," he whispered, offering a piece to the air as if the city itself might want a bite. They wandered deeper into the labyrinth, passing coppersmiths whose rhythmic hammering created a melody for the morning. Zora touched the cool surface of a hand-carved tray, while Demir admired the intricate patterns. The bazaar was a living museum, and they were part of the exhibit. Near the fountain, they found a hidden Hoca'dan. It was a tiny nook, filled with the sound of silver spoons clinking against glass. Demir pulled out a small, low stool for himself, feeling the rough texture of the wood. The world seemed to slow down here, tucked away from the rush of the modern world. Zora held the tea glass carefully. It was shaped like a tulip, narrow in the middle to keep the heat trapped at the bottom. The liquid inside was a deep, translucent ruby. As she lifted it, the steam carried the scent of mountains and tradition, warming her fingers and her heart. After the tea, the conversation turned to something sweeter. They stood before a glass display case that shimmered with the promise of sugar. Demir pointed to two specific treats, the milky, sponge-like trilice and the smooth, golden Kemesina. One of each, he decided, his eyes bright with anticipation. Zora chose the trilice first. The sponge cake was drenched in 3 types of milk, making it heavy and cool. When she took a spoonful, the caramel topping provided a sharp, sweet contrast to the creamy base. It was like eating a cloud that had been dipped in liquid gold. Demir dove into the Kemesina. This was a humbler-looking dessert, a simple custard of eggs and milk, but its texture was velvet. It wasn't overly sweet. Instead, it tasted of home and old kitchens. He closed his eyes, savoring the way it melted instantly on his tongue. As the sun began to dip behind the minarets, Zora and Demir walked back through the cooling streets. Their pockets were empty, but their spirits were full. The Karsiha had fed them more than just food. It had given them a moment of timelessness in a world that never stops moving.